Hi, my name's Charlotte.
Hello there, I'm Helen.
And I'm Tam.
And we're actors playing the parts of real forestry experts that were interviewed to create this verbatim play.
A verbatim play uses the real words of real people, and it's often performed by actors and is used to explore difficult questions or issues.
In this play, we are exploring the difficult question of how forests and the people who work with forests are adapting to climate change.
Every word in the play comes from interviews that were conducted with real forestry people.
Some of the words are spoken by us.
Some of them are spoken by our musician, Simone, who plays the cello on stage throughout the play.
And some of them are said by other actors who appear in recorded audio and video.
The play is made up of 5 scenes in total, and in this scene, which is called Production Foresters, we play 3 foresters at different stages of their career, and we show that they're all pretty hands-on working in the forest by the way that we interact with the trees and even move them around.
Yeah, totally. The clothes we wear as well, like high-vis jackets. This is the high-vis jacket that I wore. They're meant to show that we're working physically with the trees.
Yeah, and in this scene I wear ear defenders, like these, because the person that I'm playing cuts down trees with chainsaws and works in noisy sawmills. I really had little idea about what production forestry was before doing this play. I thought all forestry was about growing trees and cutting them down for timber, so I didn't know that that was what was called production forestry.
Yeah, thinking about production forestry as being a bit like farming really helped me understand. So thinking of trees being produced like a crop. So in the same way that huge fields of wheat or potatoes are grown by farmers, huge forests of hundreds of thousands of the same kind of tree are grown by foresters to be felled and then used to produce timber.
Yeah, and it was interesting understanding the timescales of production forestry, like how long it takes the trees to grow and get big enough to cut down. At least 30 or 40 years most of the time.
Yeah, and there's lots of changes that can happen in the time it takes for the trees to grow, and not just environmental changes, but political changes too.
This scene starts and ends with some recorded voices. We hear these voices, we don't see who it is that's speaking the words, but they're voices of other actors who are playing some of the other real forestry people that were interviewed for the play.
Three words for forest. It's dark, it's quiet, and it's lonely.
Something wildwoody. An old hunting forest? A Sitka spruce plantation.
Commercial forests. Large scale.
A commercial forest. Access and wildlife.
I would say productive. A forest to me equates to forestry, which is about producing timber.
3 words for forest. Well, I'd use the word timber, and then I'd use the word people, and then I think I'd use the word environment, in that order. I'm a forester by background, an advisor.
I joined the Forestry Commission when I left school in 1960, and I worked my way up from being in the squad at 17 to head forester, chief forester, and then I moved to England and became area manager. And in 2005, I retired.
Forestry is the most amazing thing. Look at the climate change mitigation possibilities. Forestry hits every single button.
It feeds my family, it helps that anyway. It's my profession, my livelihood, forestry. Where I come from, it's either farming or forestry. I pick forestry. I'm a forest manager for a large estate and I'm an area harvesting manager for a sawmilling company.
My favourite job of all was district forester harvesting. In charge of a very big programme. Getting out, actually being around the forest and doing things.
I still enjoy it. Being outdoors.
The freedom, the variety. No 2 days are ever the same. In amongst rotting stags, peregrine falcons, black-throated divers. I could spend all day on the hillside and never see another human being. I quite enjoyed that.
Every day's a different day. Every day's a school day. You learn something all the time.
In its early days, the Forestry Commission had an important social remit. Rural employment was a factor, forest villages. But then, in mid-1980s, there was a major government reorganisation, and all that went. I had 30-odd men, and in one fell swoop, all bar 4 were made redundant. They amalgamated the forests into bigger areas, and so the head forester, the chief foresters, instead of being responsible for a forest area, we were given specific roles. My role was to be in charge of the planting of the trees. My colleague was in charge of the harvesting. From my perspective, that was a very retrograde step. I mean, for most of its life, the Forestry Commission wasn't messed around by politicians. But that changed. That changed with Maggie Thatcher.
As a youngster growing up, a lot of planting happened. I loved the whole covering hillsides in trees. People say you must be absolutely mad. Nobody says that, but I loved it.
People think that afforestation is a bad thing because it's just rows and rows and rows of Sitka spruce. But they're no looking long term.
The thing is, we, the UK, are the second largest importer of timber in the world.
We want our timber.
And we've got really good growing conditions for timber of construction quality.
But we're not allowed to cut this, or we're not allowed to plant trees here because it's no ecological or for whatever reasons.
So only a tiny percentage of our timber goes into construction timber.
We off-market timber. We get it for a third world country because they'll sell it to us.
It's not right. What would future generations say if they knew we had us an 80% timber import requirement and yet we never planted trees to satisfy that need?
Ugh, you're just pushing the problems onto somebody else, if you think about it.
We cannot rely on other people to do our work.
But some of the things I did in the past, I'm embarrassed about. Like ploughing peatland. Oh. I mean, consider it this way. We weren't experts environmentally on the benefits of a peat bog. The CO2 problem, it wasn't even known then. We thought we were doing the right thing. That peat bog was dead. But that is hindsight. Of course it is, yeah.
Yeah. As a forester, you don't see your results until 40 years' time.
Oh, it's a long-term thing, forestry.
It takes generations.
We're just a speck of dust. Short-lived. Did we do the right thing or not?
What we're doing now, is it going to be okay in 50 years? 100 years from now? But don't know. We're trying now.
It's time. Do the trees have enough time to adjust at the rate of change we're inflicting on them?
We've already seen a 1-degree increase in temperature in recent decades. The thought of having a 4-degree increase is almost unthinkable. Just look at the big Cannock fire near Glenafric. That's 1,500 hectares worth of lost woodland, and it's not just woodland, it's everything. It's wildlife, it's everything there gone up in smoke.
Aye. Much hotter summers. And if the ground vegetation starts drying out, turning brown, oh, there is a risk.
Perhaps if we let them burn naturally, we wouldn't be getting fires as big as we're getting now, eh?
Some trees are fire adapted, but not all. And we're talking hot burns as well. I mean, you get a really hot summer burn, it just takes everything out.
Nobody. There's nobody on the spot anymore. It's all remote management now. It doesn't work.
Public perception's probably the biggest single threat. Whoever started the fires we've had in South Wales probably didn't realise the impact they were having. I mean, at the end of the day, it's us, actually. Lack of understanding, which is very concerning.
The biggest problem we have is managing people.
Politics. Decisions imposed on us. And then 5 years later, change the government. Poof. Oh.
How's it going to look in 100 years' time? Well, that's all down to genetics. That tree stands there for 100 years. It might actually decide to grow because the climate's changed enough to allow it to.
I think the importance of production will still be there in a few years, as it is today, and a good mix of species, but we know that there are a lot of species that are untested, that got great potential, and that probably we should be planting more of.
I try every year if the ground is ready, if we're in the right part doing the planting. I try a different species, a different seed source, a different something. Been trying it the last wee while just to see.
We've had assisted migration for thousands of years. All of humanity is based in assisting migration. All of agriculture is crops that have been created from things.
Genetic diversity is really important, allowing regeneration of the genetic stock that's here already. As soon as you start bringing seeds in from other areas, you start to lose those genetics that have been here for who knows how long.
And also, like, water usage. When you introduce a new species, it has many, many impacts downstream.
The challenge is to get the seed material, the right seed material.
If we were really serious about our native trees, the government should make sure they have seed stands in native species. You know, actually create areas for the production of seed.
I don't believe that we have the evidence to support the view that we should be growing only locally native species.
I'm personally very conflicted about the whole thing.
I don't believe that we have sufficient confidence in the future trajectory of climate and pests and pathogens to say we should only grow native species. We don't know. We simply don't know.
They are developing all these climate matching models.
But climate change seems to be going faster now. It's running hotter than the models think. On the other hand, the Atlantic currents might shut down and that might slow things down in northwest Europe.
Niche mapping gives us a false sense of security, because future climates are going to be completely different to any current climate. We're not talking about having the climate of Barcelona. We're talking about having our own new unique climate.
In terms of adapting to the new climate, you need genetic evolution. And this is fine for semi-natural woodland over very long time scales, where timber production isn't a key objective. If growth rates are important, you haven't got that luxury of time scale.